This episode is brought to you by the Thrive Tribe. Thrive Tribe is our all access pass to exclusive content, ad free episodes, a monthly newsletter, and much more. Check it out at chasingbrighter.com/Thrive Tribe. Welcome to Chasing Brighter, the podcast created as a guide to make midlife the best life. Are you ready to embrace the next chapter of your life with confidence and excitement? Join us each week as we bring you inspiring stories, expert interviews, and actionable tips to help you navigate the challenges and opportunities of midlife. Are you ready to chase brighter days ahead? Subscribe to Chasing Brighter now, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Remember, your best life is just a listen away. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Valentine's Day gift guide. We just think that giving gifts on Valentine's Day is important because it's a way to express love, appreciation, and thoughtfulness toward loved ones. It's not the material value, it's the act of giving that holds significance. So we just wanted to kind of list out some fun ideas for you and give you a little buying guide.
We really wanted to talk specifically about gifts for girlfriends and partners.
Yes, and then
So
I have a few little tips at the end
yeah,
if you're like me and
for some
you're
other
extra.
items.
Mhm.
I love for girlfriends, one of my favorite things to do is to go out for brunch or dinner. So this year, Valentine's Day is on a Friday. So spending that Saturday or Sunday afterwards, maybe spending time with your girlfriends, going to brunch is a really fun way to celebrate Galentines with your girlfriends.
Yeah, we did with my friends. We did a Galentine's Day, like, brunch one year, and, like, some people didn't even hadn't heard of it yet. I feel like Galentine's was just kind of out. It was a minute ago, and, I thought that that was really just a fun time. So this isn't really, right, like a gift, but an idea of something to do, just kind of coordinating, going out with your friends to celebrate each other.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. One of the things that I do with a group of gals too is find places that are BYOB, which is a lot more fun too. So you're not
Mhm.
necessarily spending a lot. Another fun thing would be even to do, I love your idea, Jess, about like create bracelets with meaningful words.
Mhm. Well, jewelry, so I love the 2 companies I love that I give gifts from all the time are MantraBand and Bryan Anthonys. And MantraBand started she was a mom, it's a woman-owned company, and they create bracelets that carry a lot of meaningful words. I know I've given you one, right? It's a thin little their original one is like a thin little
Hmm.
gold band that has a beautiful mantra on it. I've been giving these gifts out for a long time. When the owner was a newish mother, she was kind of saying daily mantras and finding ways to inspire herself and really wish that she could have had a way that she could see the mantra, right? And so their original piece is a thin band, gold or silver, like a bangle that you can wear on your wrist that have things like "You are worthy," "You are loved," things like that.
Yeah, I
A lot
love
of
that.
fun things. You and I have do you still have your like, we have I don't know if it's sisters or best friends or what they have, like, threaded bracelets that you and I have, right? Do you have yours on? I don't know, but I have a red threaded bracelet with gold hoops hanging it together. It was kind of like a
Oh,
sisters or best friend
yes.
thing that
Yes.
I
Yeah.
got for us. So they also have threaded, less
Hmm.
expensive pieces, and I love that, and I love Bryan Anthony. It is a couple that owns it, and the co-owner's brother, Bryan Anthony, died young, and so the co-founder, she still writes all of the inspirational things. So all of their jewelry has inspirational pieces. I love that as gifts. And there's one that says tribe, and it's a beautiful saying about people being in your tribe. And so I really like those ideas. And the other thing is, I don't know if it's in Chicago, but like here, charm bracelets and charm necklaces are all the rage. Is that happening in
Yeah. Yes.
Chicago with like a
Yeah.
paper clip necklace or a paperclip bracelet? So one of my friends messaged me, there's a new like charm place. I'm at Town Square and she was like, "Oh, we should take our daughters out for a brunch and then go make
Oh,
necklaces." So
fun.
I think that would be
Yeah.
kind of like a fun experience as well or something to take your girlfriend to do. Again, kind of more of an experience than a gift.
Well, even if you did DIY time with your
Yeah.
girlfriends, whether it's
Mhm.
threaded friendship bracelets or making
Mhm.
beads or something, having
Yeah.
a fun activity, there's other places that you can do activities in, a lot of different cities too. But it got me thinking about even if everybody brought like a supply of some sort and then you just kind of did a craft together, like a
Yeah.
craft club. I think that's a fun
Yeah.
way to celebrate Galentine's Day as well.
Yeah. And I love even just I know we talked about this around the holidays, but just a heartfelt card, just about what the friendship means to you, keeping
Yeah.
it simple.
Yes, I agree. I think that's a really great way to let your tribe of gal pals know how
Mhm.
much you care about them.
If we move on to gifts for your partners, I am modeling my gift idea. What do you think of this?
Oh, that's very interesting, Jess. What is that?
It's a silicone ring, Kelly.
Oh, but it's got
I
some
like
jewel in it,
yeah,
huh?
I like so Ren Fit has silicone rings, and I've been wearing them like a little band
Oh,
forever, but I don't know if it's because I'm losing weight or if it's stretched out, but my little black one and I had different colors, but I liked the black one, and we follow Emily Jean Ferret on Instagram. She's around the Chicago area, and she started running marathons, and she was wearing this ring, and I was like, that looks like a silicone ring, but it looks like it has a gem on it." So RenFit now has rings that look like they have gems, but the whole thing is silicone. So if you have a partner that's really active, lifting weights or doing a lot of physical activity, or their job has a lot of physical activity, I think getting a new ring can be fun. And so looking at silicone rings, they're always kind of changing and kind of mix things up. I think that is a fun gift idea for your partner.
yeah, I love that. I think Valentine's Day is a tough one for many folks who, it's hard because it's like year after year, flowers for the ladies or whatever. And then what do you get your gentleman partner? Actually, my husband likes flowers. So that is what I like to do for Valentine's Day is
Hmm.
to get a bouquet of flowers. He really
Hmm.
likes that. Try to get like a more I get try to get more of a masculine bouquet. The other thing is,
Kelly, what are you talking about? What's a more masculine bouquet? Are you putting a gender on flowers? What's happening here?
okay, what would you call it instead?
I put a mustache on it, and I put a
Well, I
wrench
mean,
in
like,
it.
there are things that are okay, so maybe it's different words. Like, there's elegant and
Okay.
delicate versus,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
hearty and strong and
Do you
woodsy.
hear yourself? I'm strong and hearty.
So,
I could be woodsy.
just I'm a Gen Xer, man. I
I
try to
know.
break out of
I'm
my
calling you out. I'm calling you out just because I know it's our programming, right? And
it is
it's
our
like
programming.
it's just like men can like flowers. Who cares? I courted Justin with flowers. I was a manager of a flower shop.
And maybe men
You don't
like
have to justify it.
soft,
It can
delicate
just be
flowers.
yes. Just if
So,
you wanna
it's
give your
really
partner
figuring out
flowers,
what kind of
do it.
flowers your partner
Yes.
likes.
Right.
Fair enough. And I actually don't think my partner cares about specific flowers. I just try to get
Yeah.
something
You're like,
more.
"I just get them like, manly." It's like a bundle of sticks with some pine
That's good.
cones.
Mhm, with some pine cones, yeah. But I was also gonna say, Brian and I have our Valentine's Day tradition is
What?
making tacos. So,
Oh.
we made tacos when we were, like, poor and dating, and so we
Mhm.
always make homemade tacos. But,
Nice.
this year, we're
Like
gonna be
frying
traveling.
flour tortillas or like corn tortillas or
Well, everybody does something different,
Mhm.
and I think we've evolved maybe more to taco bowls
Oh, okay. And
than
also, where are you traveling? Did you finally get your wish? Where are you going?
for Valentine's Day, we're
Yeah.
going to I don't know if you've ever been there, Sin City?
Oh, I'm stupid. You're coming to see me.
Yes.
Whatever. Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
hope
our
you're still
non-binary
available. Are we gonna be in
friends,
town?
that is also President's Day weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you guys still
Yes.
around? Hope
Yes, I
so.
am. I
Okay.
am. No, that's fun. Or like you said, like making your partner's favorite meal. We were joking.
Yeah.
We have perfected gluten-free chicken cutlets. So Justin grew up with chicken
Ooh.
cutlets, which is like thin, like he pounds the chicken really thin and breads it. So we have found some good gluten-free flours and gluten-free panko. And so he makes a lot because the kids love it so much, and they would always turn the leftovers into chicken parm. And I was telling the kids, one of the
Yum.
first meals I ever learned was my friend Michelle taught me how to make chicken parm for Justin for his 21st birthday, and I made him a
Oh.
cake. So even, like, thinking of nostalgic things like you're talking about when were struggling financially, you had tacos and just kind of, like, making, something special or like I have on our list, just plan a nice date, right? Just plan a nice date. It may not
Yes.
be literally on Valentine's Day, but, "Hey, look, I
Yes.
made a reservation at this place," or, "I got us tickets to this show," or,
Some
I talked
one-on-one
about, like,
time.
dining in the dark here I wanna try, so maybe I make a reservation and give him a card or something.
And then you don't see your date the whole time, but you can hear his
Perfect.
voice or her voice, whoever it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of a custom song or playlist, which you can also do for
Mhm.
your gal pals.
Yeah.
But I think that's great for your partner. My partner did that for me a couple years ago
Got you a
and
custom song?
custom
Oh,
playlist.
playlist.
Yes,
I like that.
which
Yeah,
is
that's
very
simple.
fascinating sometimes because at the time I got the custom playlist, it was a whole slew of songs that I thought were interesting that they were his favorites. Um, and it, like, is a very I think it's an interesting way to connect in some way with a playlist
Mhm.
because you get a glimpse inside, like, even having a discussion about, like, why they like certain songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm super boring because I know Justin sometimes listens to more, like, rap music and stuff, and I'm like, it's all offensive, and I'm like I'm too much of a feminist to be like, "Punch her in the head," and, like, say all this stuff sometimes that I'm more sensitive to lyrics now, which reminds me, I used to never pay attention to lyrics, and a reel came on, and this Madonna song, "Like a Prayer"?
Mhm,
Think about "Like a Prayer" now that you're an adult. Okay, it was a very kind of, like, religious video in the
mhm.
'80s when it came out, right? With, like, the guy, and it was like a statue and turned to life, and she was, like, praying, but listen to me. "Down on my knees, I wanna take you there. When you call my name, I can feel your power. Down on my knees," right? Okay. What do you think about that song now? What do you think that's about?
Yeah. Well, I think that I need to see what Madonna's intentions are, but I think this
Yeah.
was where what people that's why it was a very
So
extremely
controversial.
controversial song at the
Right,
time.
right, and so anyway,
How
so
much
I
was
said
that
that
lost
because
on us, by
I
the way, as
I
kids?
know. So I saw the reel and this choir was singing it, this church choir was singing it, and this guy was, like, voicing over, like, do they know what they're saying? And I'm like, "Oh my god, I think that song's about oral sex." So anyways, yeah, no, but it's funny, like you said, because if you do a playlist, it could be all kinds of things, like, it could be a playlist of these are the songs that remind me of us when we were dating, this is the song that reminds me now, this is what I'm into to give you a window into my whatever, and that's something that's sentimental and beautiful and is at no cost to you, and then I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people doing, like, custom songs, which I think is interesting,
Yes.
to, like, order a custom song, I think could be fun. One of the things I've done before, and it's probably just gathering dust, is Adventure Challenge is a company, and they have Adventure Challenge Couples Edition, and it comes with an instant camera and a photo book, and then the photo book has a blank spot for a photo and a scratch off where you scratch off and then you commit to doing whatever the date is, and then you take a picture, you glue it in the book or stick it, I'm sure it's a peel off situation, and put it in the book, and then you've made a photo book of all your adventures. But they also kind of have card decks where you just, like, buy a box of card decks and it's scratch off adventure date cards. So that's kind of fun. I think they have
Yeah.
family edition and things like that, but that's something that I think is kind of unique and
That's
fun.
really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. One of my favorite I love chocolate. I love
Mhm.
gourmet chocolates, and I always feel like that's a really nice gift.
Ooh, are you gonna say Vosges Chocolate in Chicago?
Yeah, exactly. It's founded by a woman, and she makes very delicious chocolates, and what's cool about her chocolates too is she actually has sometimes liqueur infused like scotch or whiskey and different things. So when you think about gourmet chocolates, it's not just picking up your run of the mill Fannie Mae C's box of chocolates.
Mhm.
There's very much craft chocolates out
Mhm.
there. And
Yeah.
not only if you think about it that way, but even just special craft items, things that are usually a little higher price, but are much more unique than your run of the mill gift that you might get on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So think about that.
I like that idea and just thinking of something, more specialized. We always talk about going to Etsy for one of a kind gifts. And they always have great personalized gifts. One year I ordered for my partner a framed print and it was a map and then it had a little red heart at the location where we met. Right. So that's cute, unique gifts. So always like something that's really personalized or making it personalized yourself. Get a deck of cards and then you can put on there, 52 things I love about you and like put it on the card somewhere. I'm crazy. So I would make it like stickers or, cut out cards or something. But I think that's pretty cool.
I love that too. Yeah, I think, as we get older and as both ourselves and our partners have everything that they could really want, I think that it's less about the stuff and more about finding these meaningful gestures
Mhm.
to, to share, to
Yeah.
let them know how much you care about them. And so,
Mhm.
we're just out there to give you some ideas. We have a gift guide page on our blog that you guys can see some of these too. So just let's talk about some other ideas. What are some things for your kids if you want to get a gift for the kids? Classrooms, tell me where you're at with all that stuff. You're usually pretty savvy on these things.
So I love, and I did this for the holidays as well, but like buying a large quantity of something and then breaking it up and then putting it in smaller things. So one year for my girlfriends, I bought this big thing of like sea salt caramels,
Mhm.
dark chocolate caramels or something. And then I bought these cute little boxes at, like, Michael's, and I separated them and put them in little truffle boxes and then added, like, a little note to them, and so I did that for the holidays too. They have big tins of chocolates at the holidays, and I found these cute little winter boxes, and then you can find, like, a really cute little saying. I found something about instead of, like, "Thanks a lot," it was, like, "Chocolat" or something, find a cute little saying. Etsy has a lot of printables and stuff that you can utilize. One of the things I love to do for my kids' Valentines, now I have really feel like I've simplified. I also only have one child to make Valentines for. But one of the things I like doing, I buy 8.5 by 11 sheets of sticker paper because I have a Cricut. But if you don't have a craft printer or cutter, you can buy Avery labels and download the Avery app,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you can print out make a cute little saying, add like a
Yes.
little
Yes.
heart or something, and then say from, your child's name. And then all you're doing is peeling off and then putting the stickers on everything, which
Yes.
I think is
Yes.
so much easier than having them handwrite
Totally.
everything.
Yes.
And so that's my little tip is like stickers now. And also if you want to be extra, like I'm always extra, sometimes I get a few of my children's like favorite candies and put them in a bag. And then I don't tie the bag anymore. I just seal it with the label. And I think that makes things way easier too.
Yeah, just I've been doing this is helpful because I always feel like you're ahead of the game on this, but I have been doing exactly that for a couple of years myself,
Yeah.
and it is really easy. The other part is, I spent so many years with these really thoughtful, crafty Valentine's Day gifts for classes, and then the kids just come home and wanna eat all the candy and throw everything else away. So, I also would like to think about this as, like, having things that are consumable and not pencils.
Yeah.
But I did, like, fidget or the pop dot,
Yeah. Yeah.
bracelets one
Mhm.
year, and it is fun to buy, like, a large quantity of things and then get some bags. It's
Mhm.
very simple, even if it's sandwich bags,
Yeah.
and get the larger it's like 2-inch by 3-inch shipping labels is what
Yeah.
I've used, but
Yeah.
also even just a simple return address label is small enough that you can get a message on there
Yeah.
because it's just and also because nowadays it's just Happy Valentine's Day from kid name. You can't personalize it. The
Yeah.
class just
Yeah. You
wants
have
to,
to
like,
give it to
literally dump it
everybody.
in everyone's bag
Mhm.
and leave kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
To keep it very simple.
And I do have label makers now. I have a problem and I have 2 label makers. I have the old school P-Touch label maker, and then I have one that you can buy little spools with colors on them, right? So you could buy pink or you could buy it with hearts on it, and then, from Giovanni, and it just will just print out a whole bunch at one time. It's very simple. You do it from your phone. And I've been using that a lot too. But I think it's not about keeping up with other people. It's not about trying to impress other people. It's just the energy level I have at that time. And I love to do crafts and I love to do those things. And it does energize and fill my cup. But if I'm super stressed, I'm just buying like 30 Rice Krispie treats and sticking a label on them and I call it a day.
Yes,
You know what
that's
I
actually
mean?
what I
Like
did
it's
last year, I think. But yeah,
yeah, it's just
it
where your
doesn't
energy
have to
levels
be. And
are.
honestly, like it is about figuring out what works for you and your family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we spend so much time on ourselves, mindfulness, and it kind of like intentional living. So
Yeah.
when it comes to school age kids and how you kind of like support whatever things are happening, it's totally up to you
Yeah.
what it is that you want to do.
Well, and I think just, as we begin winding this conversation down, I just think about too why we talked about, with our friends and giving our friends gifts is because we have shifted the conversation on the podcast to connection, right? To how connection is important. And then how can we show those people, hey, the connection time we have together is really important to me. And there are simple little things that you can do just to show your friends, hey, I see you, I care about you, and I really appreciate,
Yes,
our relationship.
100%.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend. Come visit us on Instagram or Facebook. Make sure to give us a follow. We have lots of giveaways. If you want to know more about Kelly and I, read our blogs, find more tips, tools, and resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com. Thanks.